Okay, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and get started today. My name is Anne, and we're going to be going over the website builder today. And I just want to start by pointing out your different support options. So first of all, I'm logged into the builder, and I'm going to come down here to the lower right corner. And here is our online chat. And except for the occasional lunch break, we are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And you're welcome to chat with us about any questions you have that are website related. In the upper left corner of your website builder, you'll notice that there are video tutorials. These are short 2 to 3 minute tutorials that will go through different areas of the website. Let's start by going over the account information area. So I'm going to click on the drop down next to the name of the account, and I'm going to go into Account Settings. From here, I can change out any of my personal information. I can add or update social media links. I can change my username or update my password. And if you have a Brivity account, that account information will be tied in from this area. And this should have been set up for you beforehand, so you shouldn't even have to come in here and worry about this at all if you don't want to. And that is the account information area. Let's go ahead now and go into the builder itself. So I'm going to get there by hitting the Edit Site button, which is that little pencil icon. And I'm now in the website builder. I'm going to start by going over all of the different website settings. You can get there by clicking on the menu icon and then hitting Site Settings. The first tab in the settings will be the Details tab. From here you can pick out the name of your site, and this will be what pulls up in the tab when someone types your URL into their browser. And then we have the subdomain and domain field. Since your website is already launched, you'll already have this all set up and won't need to do anything from here. The only thing you might want to do is if you have a Google Analytics account and would like to use Google Analytics code, you can paste that code in from this area. And this is a free service provided by Google that will track activity on your website. If you're interested in a Google Analytics account, you're welcome to hop online with us and we can walk you through how to get that set up. From the Settings tab, you can change the registration options. You have the option to have someone register on your website before they see a property detail. You can select either to not have forced registration or the number of property views you want them to have. You may have been given a piece of code from somewhere such as Facebook or Twitter or a chat icon, something that says that you need to include that code on your website. And usually you'll be told to put the code in the header or in the body. And if you've been given a piece of code like that, you can just paste the code into the appropriate area. And I'll go ahead and save these settings as well also. And that takes me over to the MLS details area. And this again should already have all been set up for you, so you shouldn't need to worry about this at all. If for some reason the MLS looks incorrect, be sure to get in contact with us before you make any changes. And the reason I say this is that you may have a different name for your MLS than what we have named it, and I would hate for you to mess something up inadvertently. So again, this page should be all set up for you. And then if you have a new logo that you want to upload, You can do that from this area. To upload a different logo, simply hit the Change button. Browse your hard drive for that new logo. And then you'll see the Upload Image, and you can upload that new logo. From the Stylings page, you can change out the different styles for the website. These will be the colors for different areas. And you can just click on the box, then use the slider to the right and the circle to the left to select a different color. I'll go ahead and save those settings. And the custom CSS would be more for a designer, so you don't need to worry about that area. But if you do have a new agent photo to include, you can upload that from the agent photo area. Again, just hit that Change button. Browse your hard drive for the photo, and then hit Upload. And page caching is also something that you won't need to worry about. This just tells the system to save specific pages once they've been loaded onto your browser. And that is everything in the site settings. Let's go over to the page settings. You'll notice for each page I can give the page its own title. And again, that's going to be what pulls up in the tab when someone types that page URL into their browser. You can also include a meta description or a meta tag for each page. And if just a specific page needs a piece of code in the header or the body, you can add that code to the page as well. And again, you might be given a piece of code such as a Facebook badge or something from Twitter or LinkedIn or your MLS, just some piece of code, and they say put this on your website, and then this button will display. So you'd come into the page and do that from the page. And that is everything for the page settings. You can come to the View area to see how your website is going to look on a mobile device, on a tablet, or on a desktop. From here you can see every page that is currently on your website. And you can also add new pages, delete pages, and edit pages as well. So let's start out by editing an existing page. Let's say I wanted to change the name of the Buying a Home page. I can click on the drop-down, hit Edit Page Name, make that change, and then hit Save. I can also delete a page, or I can just select to hide the page in the navigation. Sorry folks, it's taking just a second here to load. There we go. Let's go down here to add a page, and I'm going to add a new page to my site. And then I can begin to have some fun with the page itself. So the first thing I'll want to do is come over here to my favorites and add my footer to my website, to my page, excuse me. So I'll just drop that. Where did it go? Sorry folks, for some reason it's taking a minute to load. When something like this happens, a good idea is just to close out of the page and reopen the editor. Sometimes when you've been on for a few minutes, that does happen. So I'll just try reopening. And let's come over here to that page. Let's try this again. Okay, so let me drag my footer down. Here we go. Oops. And now let's add the header as well. So let's see, I'll come in here and get my header. And now I can begin to add some content to the page itself. So let's come over here to my different content blocks. And let's say I want to add a quick search. I can come to Property Search, and I have some different quick search options. And any of these that I include on my website will be tied to the map search, and will pull listings up on the map search itself. I also have featured properties options as well. So I'll drag one of these content blocks down. Oops, that went up above the header. And as you can see, it's really easy to just move things around as needed. And now I'm going to edit the details for my content block. And you can see I have some different filter options. I can either filter by my agent or my office ID, or I can filter by a specific property type. Oops. Or by a specific city. So I'm going to filter listings by Salt Lake City that are residential under 500,000. And that's just one example of how you can use the Featured Properties widget, content block. And you'll notice that not everything looks exactly the way it does in edit mode as it will on the live website. Don't worry about that. Just get the settings correct and you should be good. You have several different options for your content blocks. I'll go ahead and just pick a simple title content block. And I'm going to go into content. Then I can change the text. I can even get rid of something if I want to. And let's go ahead and move on to the testimonials. If you have testimonials, you could include them from this area. You would just add the content block, and then come in, click on the content, and change the testimonial. If you have a video that you've created and uploaded to Vimeo or YouTube, you can include that video as well on the page. So let's go ahead, and I happen to have a YouTube video pulled up. So I am going to copy the code in the header, in the URL of my YouTube video, and I'll copy everything that comes after the equal sign. And now I'm going to come over here into the details of my video and enter in that ID that I just copied. Save it. And I've just included my video. And then I can just come into the content, change that out as well. Make those changes. If you're working with a team of agents, you can come over here to the team page and use a content block. And then I could click on details and upload images for the different agents. And I can also come in and change out the content as well. So I would click on each individual agent's details and change the links and the icons if I need different icons. And that would be how to include team members on the website. We have several different contact forms that you can use, and all of these will be fed into your CRM. So you're welcome to drop these on your different pages. And again, every time someone fills out this form, it will create a lead for you, and you'll both be notified by email, and the lead will be fed into your CRM. We have several different footers that you can choose from, and most of you will have that saved template footer. And you get to your saved footers and your saved other template options by going to the favorites option. But you are certainly welcome to play around with different footers if you would like to. We also have some different text options if you just want simple text on your website. You would just pick out how you want that to look. And sometimes using the content block instead of the text block makes more sense if, for example, you don't want text with an image next to it. And you don't need to worry about the dynamic content. That applies more to brokerages if they need to pull in their agent info. But I have some divider options. And that's the same with the system content blocks. You don't need to worry about those either. So I've pretty much gone through all of the different content blocks. Now I'm going to show you a fancy trick, and that is how to make changes in the actual code itself. And you won't need to worry about this very often, but if for some reason there's something that you can't change and you want to, try going into the code to make that change. So I'm going to click on the block option, and then I'm going to mouse over this content block. I'm going to click on the code area, and that just pulls up the code for me. And then let's say I want to change some of the verbiage. I could just find that verbiage and make the change. And then hit save, and it's that easy. Okay, so I've gone through all of the different content blocks, and we still have time left. So I'd like to open the training up to any questions that you have. So if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself, and I'll be sure and answer all of your questions. I'm not seeing any questions yet, but we still have plenty of time, so feel free to ask any and all questions that you have, and we're here to answer anything that we can help you with.